The Zambia Cbnrm Forum in December 2020 undertook a familiarization tour of southern province of Zambia. The forum took on board Chief Mburuma of Nsengaluzi people of Rwangwa district in eastern province. The team visited Mukuni Palace as one of its first destinations to learn more on the importance of wildlife and nature conservation.
And what we see here is that actually tourism is becoming more attractive because it's a renewable business venture. It's unlike extractive mining that actually create potholes, environmental degradation, and so on. So our call to communities in the GMOs is that let's embrace the initiative that has been demonstrated by Senior Chief Mukuni of the Tekolaya people by taking leadership, and we hope that our communities, our Royal Highnesses in the game management areas in this country will come and learn and implement such kind of initiative in their chiefdoms because they tend to benefit and it can improve the welfare of the people.
Chief Mukuni was not at hand to receive his fellow chief as he was reported to be out of the palace. On hand was Prime Minister of Mukuni Loyal Establishment.
Bambiri so maikwena ndisi tena kuita market kuti vaone kuti kulishincha kuti noti kuvenenge chape mabhuku vanali bali kudhara uko opanda zama siku yano posta mapepa osi unani bwanyi uzapeza kuti tankarabwe for tourism ndarama zambi kumene malisa wamene woenda kulima activities zochita bakabwera kuja amene kuno kuja.
Later, Chief Mburuma and the Cbnrm team visited Mukuni Market, where local people sell their crafts to visiting tourists. It was at that moment that Chief Mburuma appreciated the Mukuni Loyal Establishment for the initiative.
Ndimumulie mpunzise muntu ubwino akena sanga uziva koma mamuza ero na pamene pakusunga icho ubwino na yeye aona papa na mira.
The team further went to see some of the big 5 animals at Mukuni Safari.
The more different they will be, the more the charisma character.
Animape is program manager at Cbnrm Forum and now shares the sole purpose of the visit to Mukuni Royal Park and Southern Province in general.
I feel that upon the chief learning from other chiefdoms of how best they are conserving the natural resources, it will be very easy for them to be able to emulate them in the chiefdom and, if possible, even say no to mining, because that is what is driving us to embark on such a visit. It is our hope as a forum that with this exchange visit, we see to it that the minds and the attitudes of the communities around Rwangwa will actually have a say to say we do not need the mine, because with what they have learned here, they've seen how Chief Mukuni and the surrounding communities are able to benefit from the natural resources that they are conserving, starting from the wildlife, the falls, and even the crafts that the local people are able to make. For us, this is indicative that if we continue to conserve our natural resources, we'll be able to see these resources every now and then, and even the future generation to come, it will be very easy for our children to be able to also have that mindset instilled in them to say keeping of natural resources in a sustainable way is the only way that we could is the only way that we could get rid of poverty and even be able to sustain our lives going onward.
Cbnrm chairperson Dr. Rogers Luilo, who was also delegation leader, expressed happiness that the Mukuni Loyal Establishment is leading in wildlife conservation.
We've had a very nice experience visiting the Big 5 Park. Actually, what we've learned here is the great innovations that we should actually encourage. These are activities that actually the government needs to provide tax incentives to the local initiatives so that the local communities can actually take leadership in the in such a tourism industry. We really commend the senior Chief Mukuni and his friends and his business associates for actually putting up such a splendid tourism outfit within the heart of Livingstone. So on behalf of the entourage, Senior Chief Mburuma, and indeed the forum, we really appreciate and we hope we'll be able to pick up lessons that we can share and replicate in different parts of the country.
Dr. Lubilo further emphasized the importance of local tourism so that the local people can appreciate their natural resources. Since the onset of the COVID-19, Zambia has seen a reduction in the inflow of tourists from other countries, and this had a very negative impact on tourism sector, which has in turn affected main hospitality industry.
What we are seeing here is actually telling us that photo tourism could actually contribute to the development of our country. These are the kind of initiatives that we need to introduce in our chiefdoms. I think we'll be sitting down with the traditional leadership in Mburuma to see if we could create such leisure parks, which can go in a long way to create opportunities and employment, and they just to contribute to the betterment of our people in the chiefdom. So this is a very good example of tourism investment that we need to encourage as a country. And I think we'll work as a forum with the chief and the people around Luangwa to see how we can harness tourism development as opposed to encouraging mining, which I think has greater environmental degradation.
After the visit to Mukuniloyo establishment, Chief Mburuma appreciated wildlife conservation.
Urendo utawera uno nevamenta ona tamunga ni chiloto but si chiloto kala tukuigwira but naigwira osati yakufa osati pa buku ya moyo tosungwa mvuno kwenu. So nakondera kwambiri zeru ija yakutenga nyama chakuti ni chikari kuchileta kukhala chifriend chanikumbusa munga mamena nali Adamu poyamba.
While in Southern Province, Chief Mburuma also visited museum to appreciate the conservation of history.
Some of these were discovered from the same area.
Joti history isunga vitu rogotu tunga ngani so tukafika kula tunakuona kama monga waki alipo majiche kuma pali otherwise tia mjira zero usunga vitu itwalilile ndafika wowera sasa ibara ya muzamuza tingira ni vifunika ni so kumanga kuganisha nyumba hii nzero za kuya zakuti sitinga ibala kuti ndakunyamurwa DC pamachira nachiona yetu ncholema so sunali ukitengero nali voto so ebwino usololera chiona na masi mapapita zaka zambiri.
On the final day of visit to Southern Province, Dr. Lochas Lubilo and team, together with Senior Chief Mburuma, went to visit Chief Hamusonde of the Ila people of Southern Province to appreciate how mining in the Lonkiva National Park is affecting the community and the future of wildlife. Chief Hamusonde expressed sadness that the mining has not benefited the community, which was also echoed by many of his subjects.
They had employed 700 younger men, which was so good. Now, according to them, it was a loss of money. They decided to bring sophisticated machinery. So they laid out all the people, all of them. Probably people are now working there, inclusive of those who come from Saka. There are less than 50 probably, 50, 67 out of 700. So what are we benefiting? Those big machinery have taken off. Those big machinery have become their own general workers. So, if anything, we are not benefiting anything from mines.
Even these who are owning this United Gypsum, they are Lebanese. Those people are exploitative. They are extremely. They don't regard Bama black people to their own soul. They just want what they want in their but they don't respect black people.
As part of the summary of the visit of the Southern Province, Chief Mburuma and team went to visit one of the mines within Lonkiva National Park.
Forum, there's one thing that I've learned here, that as a forum we also have business to do here. To also work with the arms on the community to see how whatever is going on going forward is going to be beneficial to the community. I think the issues of community ownership, consultation, and the community rights in whatever we do, like well articulated by our chair there. I think as a forum we'd really like to continue to be part and parcel of this community, because we don't just want to bring people here to learn from here, but I think if we develop that relationship as a forum and there is community here, we can also this is like our field school. It's our field school. It's not just like learning in the laboratory in the university. This is a field lab where we can pick lessons. Yeah, so I think we'll reach out to the community of Highness in the new year as a forum to see how best we can work with you as our example that can help enlighten the bigger part of this country.
Cbnrm Forum continues to advocate for no mining in parks as part of its mandate to conserve wildlife.